Alright folks, welcome back. I'm calling this series Balatro Basics. Every video that we put out on this channel, there's at least one person who comments, wow, this is helpful, this is educational, I'm gonna go watch all of your videos now. And while I don't mind the viewership numbers, I would prefer you play the game. I would prefer you have fun, right? And you know, not everyone's gonna have the time, not everyone's gonna have 50 or more hours to watch me play. And even for folks who do, you know, with some of these high stakes, high difficulty runs, or some of these high ante endless runs, the tips and tricks there that we use maybe don't translate, maybe don't apply to just every run, you just normal runs. And so what I want to do with this Balatro Basics series is I want it to be a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more educational. What I want is more advice, more learning per minute is the goal. And then that way you can get through it very quickly and then get back to you playing the game, right? And so what we did in the first episode, we focused on the early antes, early ante 1 and ante 2, the first 6 rounds of the game. And you know, folks have expressed to me in the past, you know, it's tough in the early game if you don't find the right stuff. It feels like you're not finding the right stuff, and then you're losing as a result of that. Oh, I didn't get a joker in the first shop and that caused me to lose. Well, you know, hopefully we've grown past that a little bit, and now what I want to talk about is the mid antes or low mid antes. So antes 3, 4, and 5. In the early game, you don't really get to buy any booster packs because you don't really have any money for booster packs. And so now in the mid antes, when we have a little bit more resources, now we can talk about, you know, strategies around booster packs, that sort of stuff. And so I'm going to continue playing on the red deck, you know, because it'll give us sort of a baseline starter experience here. One thing that I'm going to do differently, I'm going to switch it to the red stake here. In general, the red stake is just going to give us less reward money because we don't have the small blind reward money. So in general, we'll just have access to $3 less per ante, which is $1 less per round, is not that big a deal. All right, to review a little bit, you know, some lessons from last time. One thing I said was, if you're just starting out, you know, even if you've, you know, played less than 30 hours or something like that, don't do any skips. Some of them are worth it some of the time, and I do, you know, we'll talk about that eventually, but you know, for starting out, if you don't take any skips, you're never going to be punished for not skipping. So, you know, we're going to play with no skips. And in the first round here, we talked about playing fewer but then higher quality hands. If you win this round in one hand, if you win every round in just one hand, then you get a lot of extra money from having leftover hands. And so here, you know, something you might be tempted to do, I have 2 queens and 2 jacks. I might be tempted to go for a full house. A full house will definitely give me enough points, give me 300 points. However, you know, let's say you go for it and then you don't hit it. Well then, you know, do you keep digging for it? Do you keep digging yourself a deeper and deeper hole? And then maybe you lose a lot of extra hands looking for it. And so something to think about is, you know, not just go for a one shot, but try to figure out what is just enough. You know, it's going to get me the one shot, but it's not too hard for me to go for. And so when I look at something like this, actually, I would prefer going, if I discard like this, I'd prefer going for the diamonds flush, a high diamonds flush. It'll be easier to hit the diamonds than it is to hit, you know, we've just got 2 jacks and 2 queens, just 4 cards left. So let's discard looking for diamonds. All right, so we've got here, and then I should check real fast. If this adds up to 40 chips, then, you know, 35 plus 40, 75 times 4, that's going to give me the 300 points. That's what we're looking for. And we talked about this last time, so, you know, as we do a couple kind of like example runs here, I'm not going to, you know, tutorialize all of that too much. Now, we said last time, you know, if the first shop doesn't give you any jokers, you're going to be completely fine, you're going to survive. And so I want to do that for, you know, this episode as well. We're just going to skip the first shop. No matter what's in here, we're going to skip the first shop. If you were playing normally, I would say, you know, Hallucination is a great pickup here. It is a value generating joker. Of course, it's not going to improve your score, but it is going to give you, you know, value in the form of these tarot cards that can help you build your deck. Also, I just really like the art on this, but, you know, for demonstration purposes, let's say we didn't get any jokers, we can still go next and we can still win the next round without it. We do have, you know, puts a little bit pressure on us to hit. We need 2 hands in order to hit 450, and so something that could help is, you know, here the full house, and then I just need any other hand. But, you know, for the same thing as in the first round, you know, we don't need a full house. We can go for, you know, any two flushes, any 2 straights will be totally fine. So let's say I didn't have the full house here. What I would go for is, you know, I've got 3 spades here. It's pretty easy, or easy enough, to just go for 2 flushes in the second round. So there, you know, it doesn't even need to be a very high flush. I could just do something like this, or if I wanted to, I could do here the 2 of spades. Obviously the king is going to score higher. And then, you know, again, you know, ignoring the fact that I got the 3 kings here, it's relatively easy to then go for a second flush. So maybe something like this. And then, you know, if each flush is worth between 250 and 300 points, then that's going to be plenty of points even without any jokers. Now, for the boss here, you know, you are hitting 300 points in one hand is a little bit hard. And then hitting 600 points, you're going to need 2 good hands. And maybe that's a little bit hard if we have the -1 hand size here. So this is really what people are talking about when they're talking about, oh, if I didn't get a good enough joker in the early rounds, then, you know, I was struggling against the boss. So 600 points, this could be 3 hands, and then that'll, you know, cost us a lot of extra hands, a lot of extra money, and then it's going to kind of snowball from there. Here I'm thinking about, okay, Splash doesn't really help me get there. Clever Joker doesn't really help me get there. You know, a thing that you can do, you know, this would give you the 4 of a kind, but the 4 of a kind already wins, right? The extra 150 chips are unnecessary. If I hit 4 of a kind, I already win, but it's hard for me to hit 4 of a kind. So the thing that I'm thinking of here, you know, if I was concerned about the scoring, I could go for, instead of re-rolling, I think re-rolling is, you know, in the early game very expensive. Rather than re-rolling for a joker, what I would suggest here is maybe this Celestial Pack. Celestial Pack will give us a permanent bonus to one of our poker hands, and then we can use that, you know, later. We can leverage that. In general, I want to say, you know, keep saving your money for interest up until you have $25 in the bank. That's the max, you know, that's when you get the interest cap, $5 per round. So let's go in the Celestial Pack here. And I'm looking for, again, these kind of medium hands. I'm looking for straights, I'm looking for flushes. 2 pair I think is completely reasonable as well. This is, of course, not what we wanted to see. You know, straight flush is a little bit too hard for us to find straight flushes. High card is not going to score enough points, even if we do take the planet card. I will take the earth card here, but I'm not excited about it. And then just go next. You know, let's not break the bank here. You know, if we have to use 3 hands to beat the boss, that's still better than, you know, re-rolling here and potentially not getting anything. Or even if we re-roll and then do get something, it still costs us $5. If we just survive one more round, that's the same as a re-roll. So we did get kind of lucky here. We got a flush right away, though I am noticing this is not going to give me 300 points here. So we're probably going to need 3 hands, and I think that's okay. All right, so that, you know, wasn't 300 points, but we could have another hand that's worth, you know, closer to 300 points. So maybe, or more than 300 points. So maybe something I'm thinking about is, you know, here I can go for hearts if I want. Maybe I want to try to go for higher hearts if I throw away this 5 of hearts. You know, we said we're going for hearts, but, you know, if I keep the 5 of hearts, then maybe I don't have enough chips, maybe I don't have enough points, and then I get, you know, another 290, and that's not 300 or 600 points. So let's actually discard this 5 and then look for more hearts. We do have the 2 10s here and the 2 5s, and you could go for the full house. The full house with the upgrade here, level 2 full house, would definitely win in one hand, but maybe it's hard for us to actually draw the full house. You know, we could play full house later on, but for now we'll just discard. Okay, I got the 6, which is slightly higher than the 5, but it's not really that much better. I'm just going to keep going for hearts. This now is not enough points, and I've got 2 discards left, so let's just keep looking for more hearts actually. One more time. Alright, so we drew some hearts. This is not going to get us enough points, but you know, the alternative is we have to use an extra hand anyway, and so now we can just do this. Alright, so this part we already know, right? Like, we already know ante won. Now let's talk about, you know, transitioning into the mid game. So I want to have some kind of scoring help. The fortune teller is not going to do it for me. Do I need to re-roll now? You know, there we already demonstrated it was hard-ish for us to get the 600 points playing 3 different hands. Here, what I would do, if I don't have any scoring joker help here, I can take a celestial pack. And then now, this is not what I want to see. You know, here we've got Neptune, straight flushes. Here we've got Mars. You know, again, 4 of a kind is kind of hard to do. But I think 2 pair is, like I said, reasonable, especially the level 2 pair upgrade here. It's close enough. It's close enough to a flush or a straight. I will also take here the golden joker for the money. It's going to pay for itself right away. Fortune teller has the ability to scale. It'll keep getting better and bigger over time. But if we just save our money for interest, that is also scaling, right? You know, the more money that you have, your interest will gain interest on top of itself. So even though we don't have any scoring jokers right now, I know that the next round is only 800 points anyway, so I can still get that with 3 hands. What does 3 hands look like? Maybe let's go for spades. Again, looking for spades. So we did get some diamonds. There's only 6 diamonds left because we've thrown away some diamonds. So maybe we could pivot here. I think probably we stay on spades. There we go. There's plenty of spades. So I am going to need, like I said, 3 hands. So there's 1 flush. And, you know, maybe I could go for another flush. I could go for the clubs, it looks like. I have 1 more discard. Or I can go for here the 2 pair. So we do have the upgraded 2 pair. We do have the option. I could just play 2 pair 3 times. That's only 160 points, which is not great, to be honest. I have 7, 8, 9, 10. I could go for a straight if I get either a 6 or a jack. Or maybe from this position it's easier to hit the straight than it is to... I'm thinking about easier to hit the straight than it is to hit the flush. So let's go for the straight. There we go. So let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's the straight. I'm going to use diamonds, I guess. Maybe it doesn't matter. Alright, unfortunately we need a little bit more than that. So maybe here's another straight. You know, so something we could have done there, you know, if we were being a little bit more calculating, you know, figuring out which, not just any straight, but which straight would work, you know, getting a higher straight, getting a higher flush. But, you know, we could do it, we could survive. You know, that's one of the things that's nice about the red deck is you have that extra digging power to find what you're looking for. Alright, again, I'm still looking for more jokers, more scoring helps here, so I'm going to pick up the buffoon pack. Alright, these are the types of things that I'm looking for. So here the pants. That's going to be a solid source of molt here, though maybe I'm still looking for more than that. So let's, short term, I've got the +6 from the swashbuckler just so that I survive, and then long term we can build up the pants. All right, go next. All right, so I'm thinking about, trying to level up the pants with a 2-pair, but maybe I don't have to. You can also play full houses with the pants. So if I want to go for, I already have a flush, but if I wanted to go for, playing this mini game, if I want to go for the 2 pairs, what I would do is discard here. Generally, what I suggest with these scalers, let's say you've got the square joker, you got the ride the bus joker, don't go too hard too early. Don't burn all of your extra hands just to level it up, because in the early game, every dollar is going to get you interest and then get you more dollars, right? And so it's not just a simple 1-to-1, 1 hand for 1 molt, $1 for 1 molt. With the trousers, however, because you get 2 molts per hand, it grows much faster and it's much more worth it, to be honest. So maybe, maybe we go for the 2-pair here and we get the kings and queens. And then we can survive with just 2-pair twice. If we wanted to, we could dig for a full house, but we know that we don't need to. All right, so we're at this point where we kind of have, some solid enough scoring here with the help of the swashbuckler and the pants. Plus 10 molt here. And so now we're going to start talking about the mid game. We're going to start thinking about the mid game. And generally what I suggest, the pacing wise, have 1 scoring joker per ante. So ante 1, you want to have 1 joker, ante 2, you want to have 2 jokers, and so on like that. And the rest of your joker slots are sort of free. You can fill in these value generators. So for example, the golden joker, for example, we can pick up an egg here, is what I would suggest. I would suggest taking the egg here. And you can also think of planet cards as giving you kind of like half a joker's worth of value. So, maybe ante 1, you can get by with just half a joker if you have a planet card, or an ante 2, maybe 1.5 if you have a planet card. What I'm going to suggest, which is not what I do, but what I'm going to suggest is don't buy any booster packs until you have over $25. Except for the emergency situation where if I don't see any jokers that I need, maybe I buy some celestial packs, because celestial packs are going to help me score. But for things like Arcana pack, Spectral pack, these are powerful, these are fun. But if you just want to get the basic economy online, you want to save up all your money until you hit that $25 interest cap. So we're going to pass on these booster packs, and in general we're going to pass on the booster packs until we get a little bit further into the mid game. Alright, so next I'm thinking about trying to make these 2 pairs. I could, with the kings here, try to go for a full house, maybe one more time, looking for any pair. There we go. So I will say, with the full house, if you have the 2 pair, it's really hard to get, to complete the full house when you have a 2 pair. There's only 4 cards that you could possibly draw. But if you have a triple, if you have 3 of a kind, it's very easy to just find a random pair. And so I will, in that case, go for the full house. And then I know that it's going to score enough points for us to one-shot here. Now we have a lot of extra money from extra hands left over. Now we're good. Now we're fully online here. In ante 3 now, something that I'm thinking about is, okay, I want to have 3 scoring jokers. I currently have the swashbuckler has this synergy with the egg. I currently have the pants here. So this is good. I have 2 sources of plus molt. So something that's going to help me at this stage is getting some source of chips, right? I have plenty of plus molt here. I want some source of chips. And here I could take the vagabond as like another value generator. I have golden joker, I have the egg, I have the vagabond here. To play it safe, I'm not going to say that this is how I play it, but to play it safe, let's not pick up the Vagabond here and then stick with just having in ante 3. We'll stick with just 2 value generators and then 3 scoring jokers. You could make this evaluation, okay, the Vagabond is very powerful, and then so me knowing that this is very powerful, I can sell one of these. Maybe I get rid of the egg, or maybe I get rid of the golden joker and pick up the Vagabond plus egg or something like that. Or, you know, another thing to think about. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, you know, to pick up an extra scoring joker here, you know, maybe the Scholar, that could be our source of chips. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. You know, for demonstration purposes, you know, for this video, I want to demonstrate, you know, sort of getting the economy online and managing your money. And so Vagabond kind of does the opposite of that. So, you know, let's try to maintain our money here. I'm thinking, you know, in the previous round, we were able to score enough already. We scored, you know, 2,000 points, and then in the next round, you know, you can go to the collection here, you can preview the next round is going to be 2,800. So with the jokers that I have already, I said in ante 3, you kind of want to have 3 scoring jokers. Trousers currently is a little bit less than 1 if it's only giving us +6 mult. It'll get bigger later, but for now it's giving us slightly less than 1 joker's worth of value. Swashbuckler is giving us slightly more than 1 joker's worth of value because it has this combo, you know, very powerful combo with the egg here. And so, you know, maybe right now, if I don't take any scoring jokers, then it'll take me 2 hands. It'll take me 2 hands to win the next round. If I pick up the Scholar, that'll be the difference. And so, you know, I want to get up to $25 for me to make interest. If I spend my money, then I get less interest. But if I get less interest, I can still win with fewer hands. And if I win with fewer hands, then that'll also, you know, get me more money if I use fewer hands. The question is, you know, how consistently can I get the aces? And I think, you know, on a normal deck, you know, if we didn't have the extra discard from the red deck, I would say, you know, don't count on it. Don't count on being able to get the aces. But with the red deck, we could probably hit it. We could probably hit it with the Scholar. The question is, do we need to, right? Like, let's say I do pick up the Scholar. Am I going to build around this? Is this going to be my whole build? Or am I going to transition to something else? Am I going to sell it right away? I think we can do it. I think we could do it with the Scholar, and then now even the Swashbuckler is a little bit bigger because we picked up the Scholar. Again, let's keep saving all of our money for interest. So let's go for 2 pair that includes aces. I already have 2 pair in hand right now, and if I wanted to, I could level up the pants. But if I hit the aces and I get the extra chips, I can hit 2,800. I can one-shot here. So I have 4 discards. I'm going to use my 4 discards. And that's kind of the lesson is, you know, use all of your discards, get your higher quality hands. Do I want to go for a full house with aces? You know, if I keep the 3 10s, it'll be harder for me to find my aces. Do we need a full house? Or can we just do 2 pair? Will 2 pair with aces be enough? I think 2 pair will be enough. And so actually what I'm going to do is instead of going for the full house with the 10s, I'm actually going to throw away a 10. So that I have a better chance of finding my aces. One more time looking for an ace. There we go. So we could go 2 aces with 2 10s. I think this is enough with the extra chips from the Scholar. There we go. You know, that's 4,000 points right there. We didn't need to be greedy and go for the full house. And so kind of in general, the lesson is, you know, figure out how much you actually need and then not go for more than that. You know, not be greedy just for the sake of getting the big number. All right, so we're now at that $26 here. We know we can score 1,000 points, or sorry, 4,000 points if I have 2 pair. So in the next round here, I can do this. Maybe I can't hit 4,200. So, you know, maybe I can do this in 2 hands. But knowing that I can do that in 2 hands, I don't need to spend anything here. I don't need to pick up anything here. So I'm just going to go next, saving my money to maximize my interest. And again, let's look for aces. So we already have the 2 aces in hand. All I need to do is get 2 pair twice, or 2 pair and a half. So if I want to, I can go ahead and ship the 2 pair here. But I do know that a full house will win. And so maybe what I want to do is I want to try to find a 3rd ace. Because 2 pair is pretty easy. I can find a 2nd pair pretty easily. If I throw away these 4s, I can find more pairs. So I'm just going to throw away these, just digging straight for more aces. Here's another pair that I'm going to throw away. Alright, so now I have 1 discard remaining. And so I could, keep digging for the ace or a king here to get the full house. The odds of that are not great, to be honest. And so now that I have fewer discards left, now I know I can do 2 pair twice. So let's just do 2 pair. What do I want to throw away? I want to throw away, I guess, this 3 here. Play the 2 pair. This should not be 4,000, right? Oh. I guess I miscalculated. We got the upgrade on the egg and we got the upgrade on the pants, and so these 2 things combined, we got the stronger swashbuckler here, so that turns out it's going to be 4,000, 4,500. And maybe that's something to keep in mind for the boss here as well. So now I've got $42. What do we start spending our money on? So currently it seems like we're trending towards 2 pair is completely reasonable, but also we could be trending towards full houses as well. And so I'm thinking about, okay, well, what am I looking for that kind of thing for full houses? If I want to make full houses, then Arcana packs are going to be the thing that help me do that, or standard packs as a way of getting extra cards if I get more aces to go with my scholar. So let's pick up the standard pack here. I don't have any aces, though. If the plan is to go for full houses and 2 pair, we can kind of just pick up whatever duplicates and then just go all in on that. And so maybe I'm not super attached to the scholar. The scholar is replaceable, right? I can get some other source of chips. And so maybe what I'll do is I'll pick up, here's a jack and here's another jack to go with it, if I want to try to make 2 pair. The first jack you definitely take. The first jack you take because the purple seal is very powerful, getting access to tarot cards. The second jack is a little bit sketchy. I want to say, in general, you don't want to add too many cards to your deck, because every card that you add to your deck, it makes it harder for you to find the cards that you actually care about. And so, yes, this jack is enhanced. It does have plus mult, so it's better than the average card in my deck. But by adding this to my deck, it does make it harder for me to find the purple seal. I think it's fine here, since these are both jacks now, and then I can use them as part of a full house. But we'll be cautious about adding too many cards to the deck. Now I've got $34 here, so I can afford an Arcana pack as well. And the thing that I'm looking for in this Arcana pack, ways to make more 2 pair, or ways to make more full houses, or ways to make more aces. And so maybe, I don't know, strength allows us to do that, right? Strength could help us do that. We could turn these jacks into queens. And so, the 2 jacks that I have here, the purple one I want to discard. I don't want to play it, I want to discard it. And so there could be some benefit in turning these jacks into queens. And then I still have the opportunity in the future to turn my other jacks into even more queens. And so for the build that we currently have, I'm going to suggest taking the strength card here. I think you could also, 2 pair is not that hard to do, and so you could also take the Fool here for the planet card. In general, I think among newer players, the planet cards are underrated. Planet cards give you more scoring power, give you more value, but they don't take up a joker slot here, and so that's very good. Having extra scoring that doesn't take up a joker slot, because this is the main limitation of the game, is having a limited number of joker slots. I'm going to go for the strength, the jacks into queens for the consistency. That'll make it easier in the long run. That'll make it easier for us to get full houses. You know, maybe we don't just play 2 pair, we could play full houses as well, and then go into the next round here. All right, for this particular boss, you know, every boss is going to be different. For this particular boss, you know, it's going to reduce your chips and molt from your base, from whatever poker hand you're playing. The molt doesn't matter as much because we have, and you will have, you know, plenty of molt from your jokers. The chips can be a little bit tricky if we don't have any jokers that give us chips. Then you want, you know, maybe the leveled up poker hands. You can't necessarily guarantee that. You can't guarantee that you get the leveled up poker hands. So, you know, one thing that you might do is, if I know that this is coming, then in the shop, I know, I should probably get a source of chips. I should probably spend money on one reroll in the shop trying to look for more chips. We do have the scholar for the aces, so I think that's what we're going to, you know, build around. So let's look for aces, and we know aces with queens, perhaps. So let's dig for our aces. So we do have 3 queens with an ace here. Let's go for, since we have the discard, since we have 2 more discards, let's go for the full house. All right, we did get the jack here that we can discard for a tarot card. Devil making a gold card. Now, do I want the 4 of a kind, or do I want the full house? The flint is going to reduce the base, and then after the base is reduced, you know, playing the full house versus playing the four of a kind, the full house has more cards, and so you'll get more chips from it. Now we have the scaling bonus from the trousers, we have the scaling bonus from this combo from the egg, and the swashbuckler is kind of like, you know, I would say not necessarily overpowered, but, you know, better than average powered. So, you know, let's say we didn't have the egg and we had just these 2 scoring jokers, and then we also have the scholar for the chips. How much would this be worth? We probably need 2 hands. So that there, you know, already 4,000 points, and then now I just need another, I don't know, 2,000, less than 2,000 points. I'm not convinced that this does it, this 2 pair here, without the chips from the aces. But maybe, you know, as long as this is half as much, I think this is fine. So let's give that a try, and before we do, we can use the devil to make a gold card. What I suggest to folks with the gold cards and with the steel cards is put this on a card you never want to discard. So, you know, often what people do is, oh, I'll put this on a card that I just never play, right? If I'm going for hearts flushes, I'll just throw it on a spade because I know that's a card that I'm never going to play. But the thing about the gold cards is, you know, you hold on to them and then they take up a slot in your hand, right? And then it makes it harder for you to find the cards that you're looking for. And so if you're holding on to a gold spade, then you're going to draw your 4 hearts and not be able to complete your flush. And so what I suggest is, okay, if you're going for hearts, flushes, put the gold card on one of your hearts. And then that way, when you're digging for hearts and you're digging for your flushes, then you have a reason to hold on to that gold card. And it doesn't hurt you for holding on to it. And then, you know, if you get in the situation where you need to play it, then you play it. And you get less money, but at least you don't lose. At least you don't die. So, you know, here, I guess what I would want to do is, you know, put the gold card on a queen. Aces I want to play. Queens I don't feel bad about holding on to because I have extra queens in the deck. But in this position, you know, I need to play the 2 pair, so I'm going to put the gold card on the 10. And this 10 could easily become a jack with the help of a strength tarot card. See, you can see the big difference there. So we had, you know, with the aces, with the extra chips, we were able to score like 4,000 points. And then without it, you know, only 1,500 points, you know, barely enough there, or barely not enough there. We do get to survive. We do get to play the 2 pair here, but we want to have, you know, not just for this boss, but like in general, we want to have a source of chips. And one very consistent source of chips, the planet cards. The planet cards, the leveled up poker hands, are a way to get extra chips. Or, you know, you could just get this foil joker here. So, you know, we could pick up the space joker. Space joker is going to have a combo if we're playing extra copies of 2 pair here. Also, since it has a higher sell price because it's uncommon and it's foil, you know, has a slight combo here with the swashbuckler, you know, but the swashbuckler is not really that strong. And so kind of the way that I'm evaluating this is, now the pants are 1.5 scoring jokers, you know, better than average. The foil is half a scoring joker, right? So it is chips, which is useful. There are better sources of chips. This is more like a value generator right now, being able to upgrade our poker hands. So for Ante 4, we have the technology that we need to survive Ante 4. We can play, you know, 2 hands. I can, you know, I have plenty of money here. I can buy Temperance. I can buy the voucher for the extra hand. You know, maybe I can play 2 pair extra times. I can, you know, buy all of these standard packs if I want. So, you know, typically this is what I suggest. In the early antes, don't buy any booster packs unless, you know, that special scenario where you need the celestial packs for the scoring. But in general, don't buy any booster packs until you hit $25. And then after you hit $25, you're good. And so you can kind of buy whatever. You can buy all the booster packs. Here, you know, we've got $50. What I suggest is buy booster packs before re-rolling. You know, if they're booster packs that you want. You know, I'm not saying that you always want the standard packs, but maybe, you know, there's a chance that you get enhanced cards, card enhancements that you would normally have to use tarot cards to get. That could be useful. If we're going for 2 pair, it seems like we're trending in the direction of looking for more aces. Maybe more queens would not be the end of the world. So I think the standard packs are useful for us here. And so buy standard packs before doing any shop rerolls. Alright, these now, you know, red seals are definitely very powerful, you know, re-triggering effect. You know, if we had a red seal ace, that would be really cool. But, you know, these are not helping me make my 2 pair or full houses with aces. So I'm just going to skip actually. And then with the other standard pack here, probably also skip, right? I don't see any aces. Maybe I have a jack, which could turn into a queen. Also, it's a gold card. So maybe this I don't feel as bad about taking. But if I take this jack, basically what I'm committing to, basically what I'm saying is, oh, we're just not going to find our aces anymore. We got 55 cards in the deck, we're just not going to find our aces. So this is now a blank. I'm thinking of this as blank, and I'm thinking of, you know, what could I be doing instead? I have enough money, so I know I can re-roll for a replacement for my scholar if I want to take this. And I think that's fine. I think we'll go for the, you know, the face cards, the full houses, and the 2 pairs. So we'll re-roll here looking to replace my scholar. And this is perfectly reasonable here. We have the extra queens, so we can shoot the moon. We can have the extra molt from queens. And this swashbuckler is also, you know, without the synergy with the egg, is not that strong, and I think this is also replaceable. But we have $30 now. I want to stay above $25 for interest, so we'll go next. And, you know, continue not skipping here. The boss is going to decrease the level of our poker hand, and so maybe that's something to consider. I think, you know, you want to avoid playing 2 hands if possible. Let's see what we could do. So I have 3 4s here if I want to try to go for a full house. I think it's going to be easier for us to keep playing 2 pair instead of full houses, because, you know, if I play 2 pair, I have, let's say I play 2 pair, I have 4 cards left over. So it's easier for me to hold cards, queens in hand, right? So let's actually discard something that looks like this. I don't need the full house. I'm going to try to play 2 pair so I can level it up with a space joker so that I can level up the pants. Alright, so we got basically exactly what we were looking for. We got 2 queens here. I know that this is enough points. If we wanted more points, we could discard for more queens, or actually what we want to do is we want to discard for our gold cards. So maybe let's do that. We could also ask this question of, you know, do we need these queens? Or do we have enough scoring without it? And I think we don't need both of these queens. I think we can score with just 1 queen. So let's go for the gold cards now. One more time looking for gold cards. We got aces here are higher than the 4s, so I'm going to throw the 4s away. Alright, and then we've got here aces, kings, and, you know, the leftover queens. Ship it. And then that's 7,500-ish. And then so in the next round, I know if I get 2 pair with 2 queens, it's not enough, but I can play 2 pair twice. We're up to $43 here. We can buy these celestial packs. When I'm looking at something like this, what I like to do is take the smaller one first and then the bigger one second. Because the bigger one, you have more choices. And so I like to have more information first. So if I buy the celestial pack here, you know, if I get full house, maybe what I want to do is go deeper and get full house twice. Or here, if I get 2 pair instead of full house, now I know maybe I want to go 2 pair instead of full house. You get rewarded for going deeper, investing more in the same one. And so, you know, we can see here already the 2 pair is comparable to a full house. You know, the mult number is lower, but most of your mult is coming from your jokers anyway. So really it's just the chips that matter, and the chips are close. Alright, with this mega pack, I'm looking for, you know, 2 pair, or as an alternative, I have full houses. So what I like to think about is, okay, what am I doing right now? What do I want to be doing in the end? And so I may not want to stay on 2 pair forever. I may want to upgrade. I may want to transition into full houses. And so maybe I'll take the earth here. I don't really have an option, you know. I'm definitely not going to play flushes or straights or full houses. So there really isn't an option here. You know, we can take pairs, I guess, if you want. Now, do I want something like, you know, this polychrome here giving me plus 50% of my scoring, or do I want the square joker as another source of chips here? I think now, you know, we have so much mult from the trousers, we don't need these. We don't need shoot the moon, we don't need the swashbuckler. Between the 2 of these, I think the shoot the moon is stronger. And so I said, you know, maybe going for a source of chips. So let's get rid of the swashbuckler and pick up the square here. You know, it is exciting to get the riffraff here. It is exciting to get the 50% more scoring. Well, the way that I think about this is, you know, let's say I get the 2 pair here. Currently 60 chips. If you play some face cards, it'll be 100 chips. If we add the foil, it's 150 chips. And so what is 50% more of that than that look like, right? It's just 75 chips is all it takes to be equal to what the polychrome is doing. And so even though I'm not there right now, I can get there with this, with the square joker. Or, you know, maybe I replace the square joker with something else. Ice cream would be more powerful than this polychrome. And the same thing for mult. You know, we have 20 mult coming from the trousers, you know, potentially another 20 mult coming from shoot the moon. And so 50% more on top of that would just be another plus 20 mult. Is pretty replaceable. Now, if we're talking about, you know, times 2 mult, we're talking about times 3 mult, then it's truly irreplaceable. But for this here, we don't need to take, you know, this times 1.5. And then we can go next, saving the rest of our money for interest. I do know that this is going to be 2 hands now, so we'll go ahead and play the 2 pair and level up the square. I feel fine throwing away the queens there because I know, I mean, for 1, I have more queens, and for 2, you know, I already have enough mult from the trousers that I don't need the extra mult from the queens. Now what I'm looking for, I'm looking for my gold cards for the money. And so now I've got queens and eights here. I'm going to discard, keeping the eights. Going for more queens. So here's queens and eights. Make sure we play 4 cards. This is fine. So we don't get the bonus from the shoot the moon, but we still get 5,000 points. We already know it's going to be fine. And then so this shoot the moon here is also replaceable. Now, something that I am thinking about, I do want to try to beat the boss in just 1 hand instead of 2 hands, because 2 hands, you know, is going to get a lot of D levels, and that's going to be pretty sad. So thinking about, you know, how I can do that. Maybe if we have enough queens and we play a full house. Let's try these celestial packs, do the smaller one first. Between Uranus and Earth here, between 2 pair and full house. 2 pair is definitely more compatible with shoot the moon, and so if I play less cards, I have an extra queen, is technically worth more as a combination here. But, you know, this being a common joker, I could probably replace this with something else later. And so, you know, thinking about my end game, I think in the end game, I'm going to transition into full houses. So here, I'll pick up the Earth card. Then in the Celestial pack here, we don't have, oh, we do have an Earth here for more full houses. Sure, let's do that. We have money for re-rolling, so I don't need Crazy Joker for straights. I don't need Dusk for, you know, this re-triggering. If I had some effects that I wanted to re-trigger, this could be good. Otherwise, we'll just keep re-rolling here. I am, in the end, going to play full houses, but short term, you know, I can level up the 2 pair here. And then now, okay, I have, you know, when I say you want a combination of, you know, 1 scoring joker per ante, and now we're in ante 4, and maybe we want 4 scoring jokers. The pants, I think of each 1 joker slot as kind of, you know, maybe 12 molt on average. And so the pants is doing is kind of getting to 2 jokers is what this is doing. And so with that amount of molt, do I want some other different amount of chips, right? The square joker, that's my long-term plan, long-term amount of chips, but short-term it's not really doing that much for me. And so maybe something that could help is, instead of shoot the moon, getting the extra chips from the scary face. I think I'm interested in doing that. And now I have to ask this question, okay, do we want to reroll here? Or do we want to save our money for interest? I think we're good. I think we can save our money for interest and go next. So as much as it is going to hurt to de-level the full house, if we play the full house, we will win in 1. So that's what I'm looking to do. I'm trying to make a full house with face cards for the scary face. All right, so we got queens and kings. So I'm just looking for 1 more queen. Temperance for 13 bucks. Here I do have the gold card, but if I hold on to it, it's going to make it harder for me to hit my queens. And if I don't hit my queens, I'm going to lose more hands getting de-leveled here, so I'm actually going to discard the jack. Still trying to find that 1 more queen. And then we did find it. So here's, I could use temperance now, but I guess I don't really need to. I am going to play the full house. Nice. Something that we could do at this stage, something to think about, because we have the square joker, you know, I have long term, I have trousers as a source of molt. If I want to do the square joker as a source of chips, because we have the money, because we have the interest now, you can start burning hands, you can start wasting hands. I can throw out a 4 card high card in order to level up the square 3 times per round, and then just one shot with 1 full house or something like that. And so maybe, you know, maybe we'll demonstrate that in the next round here. We'll go Celestial packs, looking for Earth. We'll go Celestial pack again, looking for Earth. There we go. We could take the voucher. Extra consumable slot, sure, I guess that's fine. We do have an offering here. We can take Seeing Double for some X Molt, and so this is kind of what we're looking for. This is the technology. We've got Plus Molt and some chips, and here's X Molt. And so in Ante 5 now, I think with the jokers that we have, because this is kind of powerful, we can survive with keeping the golden joker and then maybe selling the scary face in exchange for Seeing Double here. But if you wanted to play it safe, if you wanted to guarantee the win, you sell the golden joker here, and now in Ante 5 I have 5 scoring jokers. And then this is it. Now I have everything fully online. Now, you know, if I wanted to, I could play, let's say I wanted to do this. Let's say I wanted to level up the square joker. I would just play any 4-card hand. Though maybe if I wanted to do the pants stuff, I would play 2 pair. So maybe let's discard these, looking for 2 pair. I do have 2 jacks. Let's discard again. Okay, so I do have 2 pair if I want to play the kings and the jacks. I think that's too many points. So, you know, this decision between, do I level up the pants twice per round, or do I level up the square joker 3 times per round or 4 times per round? And I think I'm gonna go for the chips instead. So actually here, let's just do this. Let's just play the pair of jacks. So rather than, dang, that was too many points because I played the pair with the Seeing Double. That was not what I was planning to do. So, I don't really need any of this. So, you know, I could take flushes if I want. Jumbo Standard here, looking for more face cards, which I don't see here, so I'm just gonna skip and then go next. I do have money for rerolls, but there isn't necessarily something that I'm rerolling for. Let's reroll once because we can afford it. Alright, Fortune Teller, Superposition, we don't need that, we could just go next. Alright, so let's do the thing that we meant to do last time, which is, okay, trousers are already pretty big, so let's play, instead of 2 pair, I'm just going to play high card to try to level up the square. Nice. Alright, that's exactly what we wanted to do. So let's go again. High card to level up the square. High card again to level up the square. High card, wait a second, that's not a high card. I'm gonna throw away the jack here for the purple. Wheel of Fortune. Let's play, I know I have extra queens, so I'm gonna play 1 queen, leveling up the square. And now we have enough points. If you wanted to, you could play the 2 pair and then, you know, get the square value and then also the trousers value. Since I have the space joker, I would rather go for the full house because, like, long term that's going to be more powerful, leveled up full house. So here now full house, and then also I can discard looking for a gold card. Nice, just like we drew it up. Alright, so hopefully, you know, by this point we've demonstrated that this is a win, right? Like, we won this run, we have all the technology that we need. I want to do another one just as like another case study, as another example. You know, like we had the golden joker. The golden joker was helping us build our economy. What happens if we didn't have the sort of powerful golden joker? So in the first round here, we could do a little bit faster. We're looking to win in 1, and so maybe I'm thinking about, if I discard these, I could go for, actually I'm going to discard the clubs and then go for spades, flush, or maybe I could go for the straight, or maybe I can go for clubs now, except, you know, here the 2 of clubs doesn't really get the job done. Let's throw away the 2. Alright, Yeah, again, keep going for clubs. I do have the 3 7s now, but a full house with 7s doesn't usually win. And so let's just discard one more time looking for clubs. There we go. That's gonna one shot. All right, in the next round here, this Onyx Agate is very powerful. Plus 40 molt when you play a clubs flush is very powerful. So definitely take this, though for demonstration purposes, for educational purposes, let's pretend we didn't get any scoring jokers. All right, in the second round here, I'm looking to make 2 hands. So the easiest that I can envision here is going to be 2 flushes. And then we can transition into something else later, but for now, 2 flushes. Here's 2 straights. All right, in the next shot, before we make any decisions, let's think about the boss. Boss says play 5 cards, okay. So I have, as a scoring option, I have the photograph here. Photograph is gonna give me ×2 molt, so if I play either a straight or flush or full house, 4 gets doubled to 8. So this is the same as a +4 molt. Or another way to think about it is, you know, what used to be 300 points is now 600 points. So this, I spend $5, I go down to $9, I lose $1 of interest, but I gain $1 because now I can one shot. Instead of 2 300-point hands, I can play 1 600-point hand and get an extra $1. And then save the rest of my money for interest. So for the beginning, what we're gonna suggest is don't buy any booster packs, buy only jokers that you need until you get up to that $25 interest. Or sorry, $25 in the bank for $5 interest. All right, let's look for, you know, what would be a 300-point hand. A flush could work if I get either a 10 king or an ace. So actually, even though I'm going for the hearts flush, I'm going to throw away this 4 because I can get a better flush that has a better chance of winning. For the clubs here, I've already thrown away the low clubs. I've thrown away 2 clubs. Actually here, I'm going to pivot. It's going to be easier for us to get a high flush because I already have the ace and the king here. And the 9. I don't need this 3. So let's find some better clubs. All right, so we did get the 8 of clubs. That relieves the pressure a little bit. Just any club here will work. I do have part of a straight, but I think it's going to be easier to go for the club still. So we didn't get the club. I think, you know, we could play 2 pair here, and it does have a face card, so it would get the ×2, as long as we play 5 cards, because we are on the psychic here. But I think I'm going to keep going for the flush. So even though that doesn't score any points, I know that this will. And so, you know, we did throw away a couple flushes. We did throw away a 2 of clubs and a 3 of clubs, looking for the higher ones. If you keep the 3 of clubs, yeah, you get the flush, but you still have to play 2 hands. And so there, we didn't get the clubs right away, but we did get the clubs eventually. It only took us 2 hands, so it came out the same, 2 hands either way. But there's always the chance that you get the 1 hand flush. All right, I'm up to $17 now. I am thinking about, you know, getting some more scoring help. The next round is going to be 800 points. So the same 600-point hand is not going to do it. I'm going to need 2 hands, or, you know, maybe some additional scoring from, let's say, a slide joker. If I'm playing contains a pair, what I'm thinking about is probably a full house, and maybe I don't feel capable of doing full houses yet, so I'm actually going to pass on this. I'm going to pass on the slide joker. I could take the to-do list asking for me to make straight flushes. I don't feel great about my ability to make straight flushes, so I'm just going to go next. All right, in the next one, I'm looking for, you know, any 2 hands. Any 2 hands doubled will be 800 points. And so here is a straight. It's kind of a medium straight. That's totally fine. and then just one more of those. Or I have a flush, but maybe, let's see here, I need 200 points. This flush is 200 points, no problem. All right, now we're up to $22. I'm interested in saving as much money as I can. Abstract Joker is great early on. It's going to give us a solid 6 multi. You know, something that's a little bit awkward. The photograph happens first as your cards are being scored, and then the Abstract Joker happens after. So this is going to multiply the base. This is going to be better when you have more planet cards, leveling up your poker hands. Right now, this is just a +4. This is a +4, and then after this is a +6, which is not great. You know, I said we're in ante 2, and I want to have 2 scoring jokers. This is half a scoring joker. This is half a scoring joker currently. Thinking of the average joker as being like 12 mult-ish, 70 chips-ish. So, you know, maybe what we'll do is we'll pick up the square here. I don't think you need to do this, but I think it's safer if we do. So maybe we'll do that. And then we can try to level up the square. So now if I want to, this is the situation where, you know, I could play 2 pair. And, you know, what does 2 pair get me? 2 pair with only 2 base mult. Photograph does nothing. Photograph does +2 only. But I do get +9 from the Abstract Joker, and I do get the plus chips from the Square Joker. And so, you know, maybe my 2 pair is a reasonable hand. Or maybe I need to go for a higher scoring hand rather than trying to level up the Square Joker. If I play, you know, higher scoring one-shot hand, then I save money by using less hands. So instead of going for this 2 pair, actually, I'm going to try to go for a better hand. So maybe let's go for a flush. All right, so we're part of the way there. We have a lot of diamonds here. We actually have some decent number of face cards as well. I'm going to go for one more diamond. All right, there. So, you know, something that you can do, we said before with the Square Joker, you could just play 3 hands. Just here's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards as a way of leveling up the Square Joker faster. We're going to save our money for interest. And then once we have our interest cap, then we'll start leveling up the Square Joker once we have our economy online. So for now, we'll just play a full house or a flush because this is going to win it for us. Or it should be close. Yeah, there we go. So close. You know, the 2 pair would not have worked, but the flush did get us the 1200 points. All right, thinking about the boss now. The boss is random cards are face down. That's not going to be an issue. And so, you know, let's check our scoring needs here. Do I need... Well, Matador is not going to do anything on this boss. Do I need something like Steven? So I think, you know, as long as we hit a flush or a straight or a full house, we can win with 2 of those. Or if we have high enough chips, if we have high enough cards, we can win with 1 of those. We can hit the 1600 points. So I don't need the help, but now I can think about, okay, you know, forget about what I need. Here, this is synergy. If I have Steven plus photograph, because now I get the plus mult on all of my cards, and then after I can apply the X2. Steven is going to happen before Abstract does. So for the sake of synergy, now I will take Steven here. Even though I don't need it now, I am going to take it while I can for the sake of synergy. And then just keep saving our money for interest. All right, so now I'm thinking about, okay, what kind of hand can I play that has a lot of even cards and then also potentially face cards and maybe can also level up the square? So I think now we're at the point where 2 pair will work. 2 pair will be enough. If I have 2 even cards and then some face cards. So, you know, if I'm sorting by rank here, maybe I'm looking for a pair of 8s or a pair of 10s or a pair of face cards. So let's discard all of this stuff here. So I got 2 kings. I'm looking for now 2 10s or 2 8s. there's 2 10s and 2 kings. So if I want to get my photograph value, I will shuffle it like this. And a full house definitely wins. I think we don't need a full house. I think, you know, just the 2 pair will be perfectly fine. The difference between the 2 pair and the full house is you have an extra card, and then also the full house has 20 extra chips. But we have now the extra molt from Steven and then double the photograph. This is fine. And we get to level up the square. Nice. All right, so now I have hit the $29 here. Now we've got our interest cap. Now let's think about, you know, what other kind of stuff that we might want to be doing. So if I want to stay on the square joker, if I want to play, you know, 4 card hands, then maybe I don't want something like this. You know, Bloodstone is going to be 4 flushes. Or, you know, what we demonstrated previously with the pants and with the square joker is you can play 4 cards to level up the square, and then as your scoring hand, play something entirely different. So you can level up the square joker with 4 cards and then play a full house. You can level up the square joker and then play you know, a flush. And so I think, you know, obviously this very powerful X-Molt Bloodstone here for flushes. I think you take this here. And then that's it. So we are in ante 3 here, and we've got all of these scoring jokers. And so maybe something that I'm interested in is actually replacing one of these with some kind of value generator for short term, or in general, you know, I don't need much scoring help. All right, the boss here is play only 1 hand, and so, you know, I think we have the technology to do that, and we can even test it out here. Let's look for hearts. So there we go. I have hearts. Do I want to go for, you know, potentially more even cards for the sake of Steven? Sure. So let's just discard. Okay, that didn't really help. Maybe I could discard these, looking for one more even card. All right, that's fine. So here's these 2, and then the X-Molt from the face card, like this. Now, do we want to level up the square? I want to say not yet, because we, you know, spent money on the Bloodstone, so we're going to go ahead and ship the flush. And then, you know, we can get plenty of points. We did get, you know, slightly lucky with the Bloodstone getting, you know, it's a 1 in 3 chance, and we got the ×2s. So, you know, for the boss, that's something to consider. Something to think about here, you know, maybe as a different source of chips. Instead of the square joker, we could pick up the banner. Banner obviously has the synergy with the disc, or with the red deck, the extra discard. We get the extra chips from the banner. I think it's going to be easier for us, or at least better for us, to just keep discarding and then finding the higher scoring hand rather than, you know, trying to save our discards. Because in order to save your discards, you're using your hands instead, and that's costing us money. And I don't have any value generating joker to give me money, and so I have more pressure to play less hands. All right, at $29 here, I can afford either a Celestial pack or a Buffoon pack. And I think I want the Celestial pack here. And the way that I'm thinking about this is I already have full joker slots here, and I have pretty decent, you know, I could have better jokers, but I have decent enough jokers. Planet cards from a Celestial pack, that is going to give me scoring without taking up a joker slot. So I'm going to prioritize Celestial packs first. I would like to play flushes for the Bloodstone. So, you know, the Steven common and square joker common, these are all replaceable, right? I don't have to keep doing 2 pairs and 4 of a kinds and stuff like that. I don't have to keep playing even cards, but the Bloodstone, very powerful uncommon, is irreplaceable. And this is the kind of thing that you want to build around. This is the kind of thing that you want to pivot around. And so I'm looking for, in the end, playing flushes, hearts flushes. So these are incompatible with that. So maybe as a backup, I can take 2 pair, I guess, is fine. And I'm going to keep saving the rest of my money for interest. All right, now in the next round, I am thinking about Okay, I have the money, I have the interest online, so now let's start wasting hands. Let's start leveling up the square. I'm just gonna play any 4 cards. There we go. I want to save my discards, that way I can... This is the perfect hand. I have all evens, and then a king here for the ×2 from the photograph. I'm going to throw away the 2. I'm going to keep leveling up the square. And then now I can use my discards. So, let's see here. There's still a 6 of hearts is the only even one left. Let's see if we could get the 6 of hearts. Alright, we didn't get the 6 of hearts. Not that we need it, right? So let's do this. So make sure we've got the plus molt happens first, and then we've got the X molt from the face card. Alright, and that's, you know, that's 9K already. So we have plenty to beat the boss. We picked up $9 there, so $9 means on average I can buy, you know, 2 booster packs. Do I want these standard packs now? Standard packs, you know, potentially helping me make flushes. Standard pack could be, you know, even cards for flushes. We could get a polychrome card, and it's a red seal polychrome card, so it's going to get the retrigger. It doesn't immediately help us, but... So here's the thing, You know, if you want to go for the big number, if you want to go for the big score, this is very exciting. This is very rare, right? You go for this. If you just want to play safe, if you just want to play consistent and just never lose, you take the 4 here. The 4 that, you know, give us the even for Steven here, and then also the hearts for the Bloodstone. If I pick this up, this is going to make it harder for me to find my hearts. So I'm going to take the 4 here. And the other standard pack. Another even heart. That's perfect. So we got what we needed. You could take the polychrome card, and you could, you know, always get some tarot card to convert it, turn it into hearts. And so like you can kind of bet on that in the future. But it is a little bit of a risk. It's not necessarily a huge risk, but it's a little risk. If you want to take no risk, this is perfectly fine. This will be enough for us to win. I do have not enough money to buy this wheel, and so we're just going to go next. Alright, play one hand. One hand that contains hearts, a lot of hearts. Here's a bunch of even hearts. Maybe this is the best that we can do. So all evens and then plus a king. No triggers from the Bloodstone, but we did get, you know, plenty of points anyway. And then again, you know, the voucher is very powerful, extra discard, so this is something that I want, but I don't necessarily have to buy it right now. I can wait until, you know, after the small blind, after the big blind. I have 2 more opportunities to buy the voucher, and so maybe what I want to do is I want to go booster packs first. So here, Steven, I said Steven was replaceable. I could replace Steven with something like Smiley Face. Yeah, mostly what I'm looking for now is level up my flushes, and then maybe some other uncommon like X-Molt Joker would be pretty cool. Let's go, you know, pick up the standard packs. There's another heart. I'm looking for even hearts. And if it's not hearts, let's skip it. And then go next. And then go next. So now, like I said, we have our economy is fully online for the purposes of the square. We can just level it up. I don't need this heart here because I know I have plenty more hearts in the deck. I can throw away this heart here as well. And then now with the final hand, yeah, I want the face card, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the face card. Do I have any other fancy cards? No, it's just these. $22,000 points if we get lucky, if we hit with the Bloodstone. Okay. Do I want, instead of this photograph, do I want to replace it with ride the bus? You know, I want to do the opposite situation. Maybe something to keep in mind, like I said, all of this plus mult, this plus 15 from the abstract joker, this happens after the plus 4s from the Steven and the times 2s from the bloodstone. And so, you know, this plus mult from the bus is not going to contribute that much. So I don't need any of these jokers. I could, with Dusk here on the final hand, get the re-triggers from Steven and the photograph and the bloodstone. And so maybe now, you know, as far as jokers go, we're good. This is the combo. This is very powerful here. And so maybe what would be a thing that would improve my hand or improve my scoring? I would say, you know, possibly replace this square joker. So, you know, short term, you know, you can keep leveling up the square joker if you want, but long term, probably this gets replaced. You know, if this grows to 100 chips or 200 chips or something like that, you're going to level up your poker hand, you're going to level up your flushes, and then that's going to be 100 chips also. And so, you know, this would be representing an additional plus 100% to your score, like a ×2 joker. This is replaceable with any other kind of X mult. And so maybe, you know, looking at the jokers that I have now, these 4, the first 4 here, the synergy here is worth more than just 4 jokers. You know, I'm thinking of these 4, this is enough to get me through ante 6, even without the square joker. And so now, instead of burning hands to level up the square joker, now let's forget about the square joker. Let's, you know, try to find some X mult. Or I guess also, you know, if I want to get the Dusk activated, I have to go to the final hand anyway. And I think, you know, something to think about with Dusk is if you use all your hands and you go to the final hand, then you're losing a lot of extra money every round. And so Dusk is maybe costing me $3 every round. And so maybe I don't want to go to the final hand every round. And maybe with the square joker, I don't want to go to the final hand every round if I'm going to replace the square joker in the end anyway. And so I do think this is a winning combination, but maybe it's better to not use all the hands if we don't need to. So let's keep our money for interest and then we'll go next. And then in this next round here, instead of going to the final hand, I'm actually just going to play 2 flushes. If I need 2 flushes. I might not need 2 flushes. So here, let's put the even cards on the left so we can try to get the plus 4s before the ×2s. So, you know, without the help of Dusk, without even leveling up the square joker, we already have 12,000 points. We already have a one-shot. I just saved myself $3 there. And then with that $3, you know, now I can get this bull, which is going to be better chips than the square joker. Or, you know, I could replace it with some other kind of uncommon, possibly chips, possibly more X mult. So yeah, we take the bull here. Now with the bull, maybe we play a little bit differently. Maybe not, maybe we don't have to. So let's think about it. We just finished the big blind here. The mouth says play only 1 hand type, so that's probably going to be, we play a flush. Probably we can win with just 1 flush. Maybe we have to play 2 flushes and that's fine. So if I'm thinking about, right now I'm playing flushes, that's the plan. My plan is to do bloodstone stuff. And, you know, if I'm prioritizing booster packs, what kind of booster packs am I looking for? If we go to the planet cards, straights get plus 30 chips, flushes only get plus 15 chips, right? And so as far as like planet cards are concerned, as far as celestial packs are concerned, flushes benefit less. They get less chips from the planet cards. Flushes are going to benefit more from the tarot cards, because the tarot cards, you know, the suit changer is going to help us make, you know, more flushes. Death, giving us a copy of a card, extra copy of a card, is also going to help us make flushes. Hangman card removal is going to help us make flushes. And so if I had to choose, if I only had enough money for one, Arcana or Celestial, I would prioritize Arcana if I'm going for flushes. Let's see here, Fool giving us Uranus. I don't think we're doing 2 pair anymore. I'm just going to take the money here. I could get the enhancements and the molt cards. That's definitely, that's a combo with Dusk here, the extra molt cards. But I think I'd rather have the money. For one, you know, short term gives us leveled up a bull here. I think long term also gives us more flexibility if I take the money here. The money here, I can buy this wasteful voucher and then still have money left over for interest. All right, going in here, I can, you know, get more planet cards, or like I said, you know, probably looking for more ways to make my flushes, more ways to find my hearts. Between these, I think Hangman is better than average tarot, you know, 2 random tarot. I'd rather have the, you know, the guaranteed card removal here. So I'll remove 2 spades. If I'm thinking about flushes, if I'm thinking about trying to make hearts flushes, then I want to eliminate other suits. So here, remove 2 of the spades. That also makes it easier for me to get clubs and diamonds flushes as a backup. I don't need Golden Joker, and the jokers that I already have are kind of synergistic, so we can just go next. And then try to play 2 flushes here. So discard looking for hearts. We have enough hearts in the deck. We can play multiple hearts flushes if we need multiple. Not saying that we do. So do we want to ship this as is for the, will it give us the 12,000 points? There's a chance, right? There's a chance because of the Bloodstone. Sometimes Bloodstone will hit, sometimes it won't. If we discard, we can try to look for the face cards, the Jack, King, or Queen. I think it is safer to just play 2 flushes. Except that this is not going to one-shot and just play 2 flushes is safer than trying to discard and find our King or Queen, or, you know, find the face cards. So I'm just going to ship it. Alright, so we didn't get any activations from the Bloodstone, and then that was 4,000. If we do get the activation from the Bloodstone, that's going to double it to 8,000. If we do have the face card giving us the ×2 for the photograph, then that's going to give us 8,000 as well. So I actually feel fine. Like I said, 2 flushes. But since I have extra discards, I can keep discarding, maybe looking for more hearts. I have 6 left in the deck, so I'm actually gonna throw away this 5. I have plenty more hearts, right? There we go. It's another odd one, so now with 1 discard left, I am gonna keep the 7. Okay. Alright, we'll just queue it up here. Something like that. Alright, so we did get the Bloodstone activation, and then we were able to get the 12,000 points there. And then that's it, right? This is a W. We already won. So let's do, you know, for demonstration purposes, let's do one more. Let's do one more. All right, in the first round here, let's go for, I've got 2 pair, jacks and aces. So let's discard and look for diamonds. One more time looking for diamonds. All right, so we did get the triple 4s. A full house with 4s is not going to be enough points, so I'm just going to keep digging for diamonds. All right, here we go. There's the diamonds. All right, in the first shop here, we're going to say pretend we didn't get any scoring jokers, pretend we didn't see this, just go next, and then just practice. Let's practice doing round 2 with 2 hands. So I'm going to look for the clubs here. There we go. All right, now we used up some clubs, so let's look for hearts. Here we go. And then now in the second shop, let's take a look at the boss and then try to figure out how to manage this. Okay, so we've got -1 hand size. So in general, that's going to make it harder for us to get the 300 point hands. And so maybe we're going to play 3 hands in order to hit 600 points. As far as like scoring help, scoring jokers here, I could take either you know, we take the rare Joker and then we get the plus chips and it grows very quickly, and I think that's you know, probably worth it, probably very powerful, though there is some risk associated with that. You know, it doesn't help us super much right now. So actually what I like here is taking the clown for the free reroll, and then going for something that's going to give me a guaranteed, you know, better score now. If we reroll and we don't hit, then we always have the Celestial Pack as a backup. This being jumbo, we have a better chance of hitting, you know, either straights or flushes. Okay, again, we have the photograph for the ×2. So what would be a 300-point hand can now be a 600-point hand. I think that's perfect. And, you know, if you want to be greedy, you could take the delayed gratification here. I will say this. I will say, you know, we're playing on the red deck. We're playing with the extra discards. So this will give us, you know, $8. I'll say this is probably very powerful. Probably you take this. Probably you take this and then you're going to have a good time. For the demonstration purposes, I think this is a little bit too powerful. And so, you know, let's see what happens if we don't take this. All right, I'm looking for what kind of hand that can I make that makes 300 points. What would normally be 300 points? So for example, here I can go for a flush. If I am going to go for the flush, then maybe I don't include the 2 because the 2 is a little bit too low. We did get the hearts here. Also the 3 is a little bit low. So I'm going to keep going for clubs. All right, we got the 9 of clubs. Looking for 2 more clubs. 6 of clubs, that's good enough. One more time looking for clubs. And then there, you know, we threw away the low clubs because we knew it wasn't going to work. And then now we've got the flush here. If we didn't get the flush here, you could always just play an extra hand to throw it away and keep digging. And then play 2 hands. And it would have been 2 hands anyway. And so we took a little bit of a risk. But the fail case, you know, you're not going to lose. You just maybe use an extra hand, or maybe the risk pays off and then you save a hand. All right, again, I'm looking for more scoring help. I think 3 of a kind is okay. I think it's kind of the same going for 3 of a kind as it is for going for full houses. You know, getting that triple is kind of hard. So let's just take the free reroll with the clown here. This flash card is going to be kind of some long-term plan, you know, long-term plus multi-tier. Definitely has synergy, has a combo with the clown. So sure, you know, let's pick it up here. You know, that could be fun. I am acknowledging now in the next round to get the 800 points, I need 2 hands. That's okay. I could just play 2 hands. As long as I know what hands I'm trying to play, right? And so I want to play, maybe here I've got some diamonds, so let's discard for more diamonds. So this is going to be like 550. Nice. Now I'm looking for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Is this going to get me 250 points? Yes. Since I have the extra discards, might as well discard. We can try to find a jack. Let's see here. Do I want to go for clubs flush? Nah. Like I said, the straight already wins. And then now it definitely wins with the help of the jack. Alright, so here's currently how I'm evaluating my jokers. You know, I said on average you want to have 1 scoring joker per ante. And so I've got photograph is +4 right now. Photograph is half a scoring joker. Flashcard is currently 0. Currently this is doing nothing. Currently what this is doing is it's getting better over time, and then it is eventually going to be a scoring joker. Clown is giving me money. This is a value generator, so I'm really looking for a solid source of plus mult in the shop. Or, you know, we could get the bloodstone again. I don't think we need this. Also, I don't have the, you know, what is it? The Steven. And so, you know, if you get the bloodstone and it gives you the ×2, let's say you get ×2 from the photograph, another ×2 from this, then bloodstone is effectively a +8. is not super strong. I think it's strong enough that you take it and you can build around it, but you know, since we already did that in the previous run, you know, for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to re-roll here. And then now I do have the buffoon pack, and so instead of taking these right away, I'm going to open the buffoon pack first. And then here we go, we got a banana. And I said this in the past, I've said this a couple times, you know, the banana, it has a chance to be destroyed. Don't worry about that, don't stress about that. Your jokers are disposable. Your jokers are, you know, especially the common ones, you're constantly swapping them in and out anyway, and so they typically only last 3 or 4 rounds anyway, as you change your mind about which direction you want to take your build in. And then the banana also has the opportunity to give you the upgraded banana later, the Cavendish banana, which is huge and powerful and 100% worth it. And so what I say, you know, here at Balatro University, always bet on banana. Even if it's anti-6, always bet on banana. Don't do that, only I do that. All right, so we're good as far as scoring is concerned, and so now just saving our money for interest to the best of our ability here. We're in anti-2, and I currently have 1 plus 1/2 scoring jokers. All right, I'm looking for what kind of hand can I make? Just any hand that contains a face card. So let's go for another flush. It doesn't have to be a flush every time. I think straights are also quite reasonable. I think 2 pair is also good enough a lot of the time. But it is easy enough to go for flushes. We might as well, in the short term, go for flushes. I do know that that flush there was worth plenty of points, and so for the boss now, the same flush will also be a one-shot. And so I know I don't have to spend any money here. Unless there's something like especially tempting. Free reroll. Something I'm thinking about here is the banana. Even though it survived 1 round, it does have a chance to go away, and when it does go away, am I going to be left in a tough situation where I gotta replace it really urgently? And something that could help with that is the fist here, picking up the fist. Though, I think we'll be fine, and I think we'll be fine for 2 reasons. So number 1, we have the flash card, which we can grow, and then that can be our scoring for the future. We also have the clown that gives us the free reroll, so you know, if I need to find something in the next shop, I can re-roll for free. I can re-roll for $5, and then that gives me 6 chances to find something, so I don't need the fist. And if I don't need the fist, I'm going to save my money for interest. All right, let's try to find, okay, I have a jack of spades. Maybe let's go for spades flush. Holding on to the 10 here, you know, maybe we can go for a straight also, high straight. A full house, that should be fine. All right, so we got the banana left us. That's okay. It's worth the investment. It's worth the $5. Even if it dies after the first round, it's worth the money. All right, we're up to $27 here. So like I said, you know, some kind of scoring replacer. We can pick up the fist here if we want. I could pick up the Chad. The Chad has the re-trigger on the photograph here, and so photograph is +4, then hanging Chad is +8. So I do like that. I do like, it's also cheaper. It's cheaper than the fist. I'm gonna take that. I like this synergy. I think it's kind of fun. It's not the most powerful thing that you could be doing, but I think it's fun. It definitely gets better when you have more planet cards, and so maybe that's something I'm thinking about, you know, trying to get access to more planet cards to make this synergy work. I think we don't need the fist. The next round is 2,800. So something that I'm looking for is I have, you know, a certain amount of molt here. I want to have some more chips. Or do I want to have another value generator, right? So we're currently in ante 3 right now, and I said, okay, on average, 3 scoring jokers. And currently what we have is kind of, this is half a scoring joker, this is half a scoring joker. This is technically, I'll count this as 1. So I've got 2 scoring jokers, which is a little bit below curve, a little bit below average. I think if you wanted to play it safe, I think the play it safe thing to do is shoot the moon here, and then that way we're secure, we have enough scoring. I think the higher upside, you know, riskier thing to do is take the Cartomancer here. What this means is instead of winning with one shot, I'm committing, oh, I'll just play 2 hands. And then that's going to be fine, because the Cartomancer is going to pay for, if I use an extra hand, I use the extra dollar, but then the extra tarot card is going to make up for it. Or maybe not. Glass card. That's not something that I need right now. Here's a full house. If I wanted to win in one, I could, you know, use the glass card here. What I like to do with the glass cards is I like to put it on a card and then just never use it, and then just discard it all the time, and then wait until the final boss, and then that can help you, you know, get over that last hump, that last final scoring threshold. Otherwise, you know, I also like to use the glass cards to remove cards on purpose, to break cards on purpose, because if I have less cards in the deck, then it just makes it easier to find the things that I'm looking for. Let's see here. If I want to do the Hanging Chad, let's make sure we've got the king as the first card that gets scored. And we said we are going to need 2 hands. So that was number 1. Now let's look for a face card in clubs to get another flush. Is this flush going to be enough points? This flush, I need 600 points here. I have, you know, a normal flush is between 250 and 350. If I add +6 that's a little bit more than 2 times. So a little bit more than 2 times is going to take me over the 2800. So I could ship it. So, you know, typically what I suggest, you know, as far as like the scoring calculations, you know, don't worry so much about, oh, what is, you know, 78 times 42 or whatever. You know, just think about sort of relativistically, I know how much a straight and a flush is worth. And then, you know, do I have 2 times that much? Do I have 4 times that much? Or, you know, that sort of thing. All right, we've got another. I am looking for some more scoring technology. I am looking for, you know, maybe typically you might be trying to replace the clown, though, you know, admittedly we do have this synergy, the combo with the clown and the flash card. And so, okay, maybe I don't want to get rid of that. I think, you know, either of these, the Chad and the photograph individually are pretty weak. And so I'm looking to replace either of these. Yeah, I'm looking to replace both of these. So how about this? How about, you know, if I want a source of chips, currently I'm not attached to any particular poker hand. And so maybe the runner could be something that we want to hitch our wagon to. And maybe, you know, the flash card, it's going to keep growing, but maybe, you know, right now it's not very big. And so maybe what we want to do is get rid of both of these to pick up the runner here. Currently this is 1/2 and 1/2 scoring jokers. If I want to hit 3 scoring jokers, I can pick up the misprint, and now I have a solid 1 and 2 halves scoring jokers. And then I don't need anything else, and we can save the rest of our money for interest. This Justice card I'm going to keep holding on to because, you know, there are no duplicate cards, and so as long as I hold on to this Justice card, when Cartomancer gives me a tarot card, it will not give me another Justice card. It'll, you know, re-roll and give me something else. All right, so now I'm thinking about how do we make straights happen. So here I've got 8, 9, 10. All I need, and a jack. All I need is a queen or a 7. Almost a straight flush, but it doesn't need to be a straight flush. Okay, and so we just need 2 of those. Like I said, you know, this flash card kind of half of a scoring joker, this runner kind of half of a scoring joker. You know, sometimes misprint will low roll you. And so I do need 2 hands, but I know I can hit 2 hands. So I'm fine. As long as it's only 2 hands. Hitting 3 hands, maybe I don't feel as confident about. Or maybe we get a +1 from the misprint. Betrayed. I think we can hit another straight, can't we? We don't need another straight. Any hand will win because we already have, you know, the flat plus mult here and the 40 chips here. But I would like, if I can, to get the straight for the upgrade. Alright, I don't have any more kings, so I'm going to keep going for the 5. 9, 8, 7, 6. Bummer. Oh well. This is going to win. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now I'm up to $25 here. I said, you know, I wanted, for the purposes of this video, to kind of demonstrate the money management, the economy management. So I'm not going to go for the Vagabond, even though I admit Vagabond very powerful, perhaps overpowered. I'm going to just reroll here. Spaceman. Okay, so I have, currently, I have the Clown as a value generator, giving me the rerolls in the shop for the flash card. I have the Cartomancer as a value generator, giving me the tarot cards. The thing I said before about, you know, what booster packs to prioritize, if you're playing on flushes, you want to prioritize getting Arcana packs. Arcana packs are going to make it easier to get flushes. Celestial packs giving you Jupiter cards are going to help the scoring, but they're not going to help as much as potentially other hands. If I have something like, you know, the Spaceman gives me a chance of, if I'm playing straights, I can upgrade my straights. And the Saturn planet cards for straights are worth much more, higher value than, you know, trying to get tarot cards. Tarot cards don't help you that much to make extra straights. They do help you a little bit, but not necessarily a lot. And so, you know, if I have to choose, would I rather have extra tarot cards from the Cartomancer or the extra upgrades from the Space Joker leveling up my straights for the runner? I think I'd rather have the Spaceman. Now, would I rather have the Clown giving me the free rerolls for the flash card, or, you know, take the Spaceman here? And I think they're okay. Yeah, we get rid of the Clown. Clown is currently giving us, you know, a free $5 every round, but we don't necessarily need that. We don't necessarily need to be leveling up the flash card. We could replace the flash card with something else. So I think, you know, for straights, I do want the Space Joker. Alright, now I've got $22 here. I am going to sell a card to make room for my Cartomancer. I always forget that, but, you know, there we go. Now for the boss, all we got to do is hit 1 straight if the misprint high rolls, or 2 straights if it low rolls us, you know, which is fine. Frustrating, but fine. So here's, you know, here's the straight. Do I want to make a steel card? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, if I'm going for straights, what card do I want to make steel? And I said, okay, pick a card that you want to not discard. Pick a card that you like having in your hand. I think if I'm going for straights, I like to have the middle cards, because then I can sort of build a straight in either direction. So I'm going to turn this 9 into steel, and then play the rest of these. It's not going to do a whole lot right now. You know, it just gives me +2 mult, but, you know, it could be worth more later. I do see part of another flush or straight developing here. We already said that the steel is not doing very much for us, so I'm going to throw away this 9. Maybe I get to save the 9, maybe I get to play the 9. Let's find another straight. So 10, 8, 7, 6, 9, we have a straight. And so this is what I was saying, you know, with the steel card here. I want to hold on to this 9. I want to turn this one into steel, because then if I need it for my straight, I can use it. If I don't need it for my straight, then I can do something else. I actually don't know, you know, if the misprint is gonna low roll us again, and so if it does, I'm gonna save my discards rather than like discarding for another 9 perhaps. Okay, we got the level up, we should be fine. Alright, so this is the kind of run, here we are in Ante 4, where we're not doing a whole lot yet. We are surviving. We are growing, right? We've got Runner is a grower. We've got Space Joker leveling up our straights. We've got Flash Card here is another scaling thing. So, you know, maybe something that I'm looking for is a little bit more solid scoring like right now in ante 4, instead of having 2 value generators, I want to have 1 value generator plus 4 solid scoring jokers. So actually here, instead of picking up the Arcana packs, let's re-roll. You know, instead of picking up another grower here, another ride the bus. All right, is this what I'm looking for? An extra plus 13 from Shoot the Moon? Or do I want to try to take the greedy joker and try to play straights with diamonds? So maybe on average this is a plus 8. I think Shoot the Moon's going to be better on average. It's not great, but it's going to be better on average. If I were playing this, I would just go next. I would just keep the Cartomancer and the Spaceman and then just struggle through with only the 3 scoring jokers and playing 3 hands per round, 3 straights per round. But if you want to talk about what is the safe thing to do, what is the thing that's going to give you the most success most often, sell one of these. And the leveled up straights, the planet cards, are going to be more valuable for straights rather than the tarot cards. If we were playing flushes instead, I would say keep the Cartomancer, sell the Spaceman. And then now save the rest of our money for interest. So I do have a queen here. I do have 10, 9, 8, 7. Let's look for a 6 or a jack. One more time, looking for a 6 or a jack. So we got the jack. All right, we're good. We got the high roll on the misprint there. I was expecting 2 straights, but with the high roll on the misprint, I'll take it. You know, just 1 straight, no problem. I've got $35 here, so let's think about booster packs. I definitely want Arcana packs. Okay, Hierophant. I could do some suit changing things here. One thing that's like slightly awkward about, you know, playing straights and straight flushes, you know, if you accidentally play a straight flush, it could be lower level than your straights. So I think, you know, with the help of the runner and with the help of the space joker, I think what I want are the bonus cards here. If I didn't have the space joker, if I didn't have the space joker leveling up my straights, something that I would think about is I can play straights short term, and then long term straight flushes are going to be worth more points. So long term I can transition into straight flushes. I can take the suit changer here. I can look for more suit changers in the next couple of rounds, and then that way I have an end game plan. Straight flushes are just going to be worth way more points straight up. But because I have the Spaceman, because I have the access to randomly leveling up my straights, then I think I don't need straight flushes. I can just stay on regular straights. And if that's the case, what cards do we want to give extra chips to? So what cards are we trying to play? Again, you know, we did the 9 because it's kind of one of the middle ones, and so I want to do kind of the same thing. So maybe an 8 and a 7 as kind of the middle cards. Then I do technically have money if I want to reroll here, and then, you know, it would level up my flash card. I do have money if I want to buy a standard pack here. I think, you know, if you're going for straights, maybe you don't want to add too many cards. I mean, in general, you don't want to add too many cards to your deck, but, you know, if I'm going for straights, I'm thinking about probably I don't want to add cards to the deck with the standard packs, and so I'm not even going to buy a standard pack. I'm actually going to save my money for the voucher. It could be anything, the voucher. This time it happens to be the blank voucher that I want. Doesn't do anything right away, but has the chance of giving us the upgraded voucher in the future. So rather than re-roll here, I'm just going to go next. 9,000 I know I can hit with 2 hands, 2 straights. Though this boss is kind of upsetting, kind of annoying. One thing we can do here with the boss, we can use the glass card to maybe help us with the boss. That way we can win in 1 hand instead of 2 hands. Let's look for a middle straight. So I am, you know, ace 4, 3, 2. I just need the 5 for that straight. But I also want to find my queens. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away this straight, looking for my queens, and then a better straight. If it's gonna keep giving me more aces, so maybe like this. Awkward. We're just missing the 7 here if we want to try to make a straight that way. Yeah, let's do it that way. Show me a 7. Very awkward, very unfortunate. Show me one more time, looking for a 7. Still no 7. Wow. Alright, well, let's go like this, looking for a 7. I guess now we have enough chips from the runner and we have enough mult from the flash card and the shoot the moon. We don't have to play a straight. We can win without playing a straight. But now, since I have the $31, since I have my interest already, I'm not thinking as much about, you know, trying to optimize winning in fewer hands. What I want to do is try to get more value. I'm trying to spend hands, spend money to get more value out of my runner, out of my spaceman. And so, you know, maybe let's continue to discard looking for that 7. Actually, I'm going to throw away one of these queens. I don't want to score too many points. I do want the straight. What? Yeah, our high card is high enough we don't need the queen. So show me one more time looking for the 7. Dang. Bummer. Oh well. Alright, erosion doesn't do anything for us. Half joker is not really what we're doing. I do want the blank voucher. So something to think about. We just finished the big blind, and so the boss is going to re-roll the voucher here. Maybe I could be interested in some joker replacement here. Maybe replacing misprint, maybe replacing the moon. You know, you want to talk about synergy. Okay, here the mime, held in hand synergy with shoot the moon. So I think, yeah, I think I'm into that. Replace the misprint here. And I have money I could re-roll. I think I'm going to pass on that. So this boss here, if I play my straight, is going to de-level my straight, and I don't want that to happen. You know, here I have the option, almost part of a straight here. What I'm going to do instead, I'm just gonna dig for queens and then try to win in fewer hands, and then we'll level up the runner on the next one. All right, so let's just discard looking for queens. That's it. I do have a full house, I guess, if I want. So yeah, we could ship that. Trying to figure out if that's gonna do it, if that's gonna be enough points. Yeah, I think shoot the moon with the retrigger from the mime, and we've got the bonus card here. I think a full house is going to be totally fine. So maybe I could discard looking for another queen. I'm not going to. In case this doesn't work, I want to save my discards. Nice. Alright, so now I've got, you know, before I make any purchases, I could get the clearance sale. After I get the clearance sale, I could, you know, be looking for better jokers with a buffoon pack. Baseball card, times mult on, I have a flash card here, I have a space joker, I have the mime here. I'd have to get rid of something, and currently mime is the, you know, the synergy with the shoot the moon. Do we get rid of the runner? You know, currently our straights are already enough points, you know, already enough chips, and the runner does grow kind of slowly. And so here's kind of the advice that I give for chips is, you know, in antes 2 through 4, having the extra chips is very powerful. So you get some plus mult jokers and you get some plus chips. Later on, when you get the leveled up poker hands, you get more chips from your poker hands. And so every level on straights gives us 30 chips, right? And, you know, we get all these levels from the spaceman, or at least we have the potential to. And, you know, also celestial packs giving us Saturn cards. So like long term, when you get to ante 7 or 8, this runner, even if we get it up to plus 200, is going to be less than plus 100%, right? This is going to be less than a ×2 joker. And so it's very easy to replace chips in the end game with some X mult jokers and have no chips jokers in your final build. And so I feel fine getting rid of the runner here and replacing it with the baseball card. And then now we're probably good. Now actually, if you wanted to, we don't have to play straights anymore. Now what we can do is, you know, with the held in hand, with the shoot the moon, you could just play high card, right? And you can use the spaceman to level up your high card. And then use that as a source of chips. And then, okay, we'll think about that as we're going into the Arcana pack here. You know, is there something that's going to support the ability to make high card or support the ability to make more queens? You know, maybe picking up some stone cards, and then that would unlock the stone joker. So maybe instead of this 2 here, let's turn it into stone. By the way, you know, the joker cards that care about certain type of enhancements. So like the stone joker cares about how many stone cards in your deck. You can't unlock those until after you have that type of card in your deck. And so this unlocks the ability for us to find the stone joker. And then let's go next. And so if we wanted to, let's try playing high card. So let's just keep digging until we find all of our queens. Or till we find some queens. And then now maybe play something like this. Maybe, you know, the steel card doesn't do super much. Or actually, you know, since I have the mime and I have the shoot the moon, the steel card might actually do something. So let's play it like this. Get the level up on the high card. Alright, and just do it again. Here's another high card. And so, you know, with so much plus molt from Shoot the Moon, now I don't really need this flash card anymore. This flash card is replaceable with some other kind of X molt. Let's go pick up these Celestial packs. Alright, so now I'll say this. Now I'll say the game has changed. Now, you know, if we're going for straights, the Celestial packs are very powerful, or they're very worthwhile, because Saturn gives you plus 30 chips to your straights. Now if we're going for a high card, now Pluto only gives you 10 chips per high card. You know, so it's like, oh, I want to get the Celestial pack, I want to get the, you know, the correct planet for the hand that I'm playing. Well, even if you hit, plus 10 chips is not very much. And so maybe it's better to spend your money on other things. Though I will say, you know, we have the economy. We have the economy online here. We can afford it. We can afford the Celestial packs. Even if they're not super worth it for the Pluto cards, it's still worth it enough, probably. So we could take Pluto here. If you wanted to, you could also go pairs, you know, with the build that we have. So maybe, we'll see. Yeah, maybe pairs as a backup. So whichever hands have the fewer cards, so that we can get more value with the queens here. Mostly what I'm looking for now is going to be Arcana packs for more queens, and then also Hangman to remove cards from the deck. And also a replacement for the Flash card. Flash card is not currently doing anything for me. Currently it's just Mime and Shoot the Moon that's doing everything for me. And so we can go one more. Let's discard looking for queens. Like this. Alright, so we got the queen here. We have a high card. If we want to, let's do it this way. I'm playing it this way because I know this is going to be worth the least amount of points. You know, if I add the stone card, it's going to be worth more points. So now I'm thinking about, if I play more hands, I get more spaceman value. So let's play the hand that's worth less points. You know, because one hand is already 6,000 points, so I can play something like this and just throw away points. Well, you know, there is a chance to level up, but I guess it doesn't happen every time. So maybe we can throw away one queen, we can throw away the steel card, do it like that. Dang, I should have thrown the queen. That was too powerful. My bad. Alright, this is what I'm into. So here we've got a solid source of plus mult from the Mime and the Shoot the Moon combo. We have strength here, we can turn jacks into more queens, and I have a solid source of plus chips here. So, you know, I said, you know, among the different plus chips jokers, you know, most of the time you're selling them in the end game because you're replacing them with X mult instead. You're gonna get more bang for your buck. However, the castle is kind of unique. The castle is the uncommon plus chips. It grows very fast, and it grows without you having to do too much work. It grows when you discard cards. We're already discarding cards normally. And so the castle, you can get up to, you know, 300, 400 chips, and then it is super worth it. And it is especially worth it, especially good if we're playing high card. If high card is something that you like doing, if high card is something that you're interested in doing, you want to have some source of chips, and then it doesn't matter what hand you play. It doesn't matter that full house gives us 60 chips if every hand gives us 100 chips from the castle or something like that. All right, what's the boss, by the way? Boss, by the way, is no discards. So obviously some awkwardness with the castle here, but that's completely fine. Let's open these standard packs looking for more queens. So we didn't get a queen here. We got a purple seal and a jack here. I think, you know, early on, if it's in early antes, I do like picking up the purple seals. I think they're very powerful. You know, getting the extra tarot cards occasionally. If you're planning on playing a long game, if you're planning on playing an endless run, then I think you take the tarot cards, you take the purple seal. For us right now, it's already ante 5, it's already round 14, and we're just trying to eventually beat the boss, the ante 8 boss. Then this is probably not going to give us very much value. And so I don't need this. I can take the jack because every jack could become a queen. Also, it has plus chips here, so for the purposes of playing high card hands, I am into that. If it were a 10, I wouldn't take it, but jacks I feel okay about taking. And then with this other standard pack here, these are not queens and they're not close to being queens. Holographic is fine, but we already have a solid source of plus mult from Shoot the Moon, so I don't need this. I don't need the money either. So we'll just go next. All right, how do we win without discarding? Well, we start by turning these jacks into queens, and then that's it. That's straight up, that's it. One more of those if we want. Let me try to not win so that I can try to get another spaceman value. Oh well, it was too much anyway. Alright. I believe that's it. I believe that's it. Hopefully I've convinced you now that this is a winning run, and you know, kind of what we demonstrated here, or what I hope to demonstrate here, is you know, reading the signals. You know, reading, you know, what different things are presented to you in the shop, you know, in terms of not just jokers, but also the planet cards, and, you know, being open, being flexible. We started with straights, we started with the runner, and then we decided, oh, there's more powerful things that we can do if we go in a different direction. And so that's what we ended up doing. We ended up pivoting here, thinking about these booster packs, you know, different builds that you might be doing, you know, whether you're doing high card or flushes or straights. Different booster packs are going to have different amounts of value. And, you know, don't sleep on the celestial packs, don't sleep on the planet cards. Planet cards give you score without taking up any joker slots, and I think that's very powerful, and you should keep that in mind. Keep in mind also kind of like what I consider sort of the standard pacing of the game: 1 scoring joker per ante, and 1 scoring joker being about plus 12 mult. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I hope to continue more of this style, you know, the very concentrated educational Balatro Basics series. All right, take care, everyone.